Hi, it's Tarrant.
And Stella from Meeple University. Today we are reviewing Come Together. This game plays 1 to 6 players and by Chili Fox Games. And this was an SN 2022 release. So as usual, we're gonna do overview before we share you our thoughts.
So this is...
A music festival.
Yes, here we are at Jahja's farm or something similar, putting on a Woodstock era music festival.
Peace, man.
Peace. And it's fundamentally a card drafting game, a very complicated one, but when it boils down to it, it's a card drafting game. And you've got 4 types of cards that you want to draft and work in tandem with tracks on your player board in order to put on the highest scoring festival that you can. So you need stages. When you get stages, you put them above your player board. They give you places for performers to play and also have some scoring objectives on them. They can trigger with certain types of meeples. They've got booths between them that can join up icons for points. So a few ways to get points on a placement puzzle there. You need performers. So there's all these star performers that come out over on this side. They need a certain type of audience to score, and you put them up on the stages. You can also have up-and-coming performers, so they don't score as much and they don't need as many meeples to see them, but you can find them everywhere. You can find them among the audience. You can find them working on the stage. You know, they come thematically from all of the different cards. So that's the stage side of things, and then you need attendees. So you need enough campsite space. So these are all camps. They give you spots for meeples to go and stand on. And then you've got meeples. So you want to go and get meeples of the 5 different colors, and those are the audiences. How does the draft work? And that's really where this game comes to play. Each of these spaces has a card. It has a certain number of workers that you need to place to take it.
2 in that case.
Yep. It has a bonus that you get immediately, or possibly not if it's a cheap space. And that location has 2 types of tracks which it will advance. And so you've got 4 different tracks on your board. There's radio promotion, TV promotion, newspaper promotion, and down here on all your camp cards, there is a magazine promotion, and they all have different functions in the game. So you need to, when you're choosing where you go, you're picking a bonus, a track that you want to advance on, and the card that you want, all at once. And so on most of your turns, you'll place workers like this, and players will go around the table choosing these various cards in this sort of way. The second thing that you could do on your turn is you can activate a location. And when you do this, you get a bonus for activating. There's a specific number of activations per round. So that tells you how long the round will go for. And it's only at that point that players get the cards that they've asked for, get the track advancements that they've gone for, and they get as many track advancements as there are filled spaces at that location. So if you go where lots of other people are, even if you don't necessarily want the card, you'll get more track advancements. These also get swept out, and this is when your workers go back to the resting piles on your buses in the middle here. Because that's the third part of the game, is there's a big worker management thing. You've got 10 total workers. Some are ready to place, some are resting, and some you don't have yet. And you can spend your action to retrieve, and then upon retrieving you can get another one from your reserve to build up your supply, or you can discard one back to your reserve to take another placement action immediately. And there's a third option where you don't get a thing but you get another card. So you're trying to manage your inventory of workers through these spaces as well. And it adds a lot of timing elements into the game. So that's all the actions. That's how the turns work. There are some end of round objectives here. Ultimately, and I'm just going to push this all up Oh, that was messier than I expected. I need to make space for this. Let's just get that out of the way.
Bye-bye.
Ultimately, where a big part of your points will come from is you need stages, you need star performers. Let's say this one here. You need to upgrade the stage so that it has room for 4 meeples. You need to have enough camps to hold meeples. So here, let's say, I've got enough camps here for all these meeples. You need to promote. So if you want to put stars on the stage, you want to promote on TV. If you want to put up-and-comers on the stage, you want to promote by radio. And then at the end of the round, you get to put all these things together. You put the meeples up. You'll score points for your star. You'll score points for the types of meeples if they match the stage. You'll score points for that type of performer and how much you've promoted them. And then you get the meeples back, but only up to a limit based on how far you've gone up this camp track. And so if you want to, you can choose to get new meeples every round and send your new meeples to these performers, or you can keep the same meeples there for a multi-day music festival. Lots of different approaches that you can take. Gameplay's over 3 rounds. These paddles here, these are specific to round.
Yeah.
So you'll get some more powerful or situationally appropriate.
Oh no, it's not the snap band.
It's not a snap band.
I knew that.
20 or 30 years later, it would have been a snap band.
Yeah, but this looks like a snap band, no?
It does have that sort of shape to it. But yeah, that's essentially how the game works.
What do you think, Tarrant?
I really enjoyed this game. And I probably revealed a bit too much of that in my explanation as well. I think I've already said most of the things I like about it.
Oh yeah, and the snap band as well, the non-snap band snap band.
I think what I really like about this game is that it has decisions which are interactive with other players and that have a key timing element to them. Those are 2 things I just really enjoy in Euro games. I like to know that the optimal action could be taken by someone else before I have another chance to do it. And I like to know that I have to do things in the right order. And this has both of those. You know, this has, you've got to have camps to get meeples, which may mean I've got to get the camps action space activated before the meeple action space is activated, or I'm going to lose all the meeples that I would have got. Which then possibly means I've got to spend a turn activating this early, or earlier than I would otherwise have liked, get lower rewards, but lose less. So it's got that sort of thing going on, which I thoroughly enjoy when I'm playing a Euro game. I don't like things to come easy.
I know, it's Tarrant, and it's like, this is why sometimes we're different. A lot of times actually we're different. We are a bit different in terms of I like it not too punishing and you like it too punishing. Very punishing.
Yeah. I like that there's lots of different ways you can go about things. You can get a big collection of meeples and just use them every round. You can promote up-and-comers and get lots of... Then you don't need that many meeples. And it gives you all these bonus actions as well. It's another timing element to the game is that if you've got a card you can't place, you don't actually lose the meeples. You just have to put it into your planning area. But you're not allowed to play cards out of your planning area unless you get these notepad icons. So if you ignore this top track, you have to do everything at the right time. And you get a bunch of cards at the start of the game that you get them for free, but you need these actions to play them. So all of that goes out the window if you ignore the top track.
Exactly. And this track, the bottom track, resets every round.
The newspaper one, yep, there are I'll reach out here and get them. There are end of round objectives. They're generally worth a maximum of 12 to 15 points. Some of them are really powerful. There are penalties. You might really want to avoid those penalties sometimes. Or you can just ignore them. Like sometimes it's sensible to take the small penalty there and ignore it rather than go up and get nothing for it.
Because it's really hard. Like penalty. So speaking about penalties, this actually is the newspaper track which resets every round. So that means that it gets resetted. So all this effort to push your thing up and then it's just going to reset. Is it worth it? So you're going to have to think, take that into consideration.
Yeah, is it worth 12 points plus the benefit in a game where 100, 120 might be the winning score or something like that? And it may be, and it may not be.
What I like about this one is that what you said about the timing element and the interaction between players, and these two things I'm about to say are both the mechanic that encompass that has got that. So first one is, if I actually take this board back, so
sorry about the mess, everyone.
That's okay. That's okay. So this board, now this is the way the round goes is slightly different than other games. So it's not like, okay, put all your workers and then that's the end of the round. But you can still put your workers and take your workers out. And what determines the end of the round is this activation of each area. Now, activation of each area. Each area is like basically these ones. So let's just put, for example, this. I'm just going to put it there on the side. So this is the first one. So this is interactive and timing element, right? So you have to kind of like try to see what other players are doing next turn. Is this round going to end? And then the second one, which is really tied into this, is this, right? When you activate certain well, what do you call it? Place, yeah.
Location.
Place or location. So when you decide, okay, I want to do either worker placement, or you want to activate, or you want to take meeples back, right? So it's a continuous action, worker placement sort of thing. So when you activate this is also, that's the thing. You want to be kind of like in the place that is about to activate, because you get track advancement, and that's, again, I say that's very important because that's kind of like just very important in the game. Like, I can't stress enough. So if there are 4 spots occupied, that means 4 track advancement of what it says in here. So you can do here or combination of that up to 4. I mean, you don't want to do less than 4 usually, 4. And you can use the flower power cute icon, cute tokens there to advance more.
Yep.
Yeah, flower power. Ding 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 ding. Sorry, distracted. So that's very interactive, and that's very timing wise. You see, like, okay, this one player started to fill up with 3. Okay, are they going to activate that? Because they all get the benefit of 3 track advancement.
Yep.
And sometimes you just want to in and putting a lot of workers, or pretend that this is the correct number of workers there.
Yep.
Whether you like the benefit or not, you just go there because you want to get those track advancements. So again, those 2 things are my favorite, and they're all timing and interaction.
Yeah. And on that timing, there's 6 activations per round, or maybe 7 on the other side of the board. And I think I really like that. Okay, so there's 4 locations. That means they're not all going to activate twice. They're not all going to activate evenly. And you won't get the track advancements if the round ends.
Yeah.
You'll get the card. You always get the cards
that
you placed on, but you won't get the track advancements if it doesn't activate. And so that adds this real element of fear as well.
Yes.
That's where it becomes unforgiving, because if you aren't in the right place for the activation at the end and you haven't positioned yourself appropriately,
in your track,
you're going to lose out on 3 or 4 track advancements, which is quite a big difference across the course of the game, because you're not going to fill all of these tracks. This isn't one of those gentle games where you'll fill all of them at the end of the round and you're looking for an action to do. In the final turn.
Punishing.
It's that particular part of it is punishing. And I like that there's a little bit of punishing.
I know you do. But that's why you look at, okay, certain players, are they going to activate this particular place? You just jump in on it because you want to get that extra. That's what I did, at least in my games. It's like, I just want to go there. I should say what happened with 2 players. So there is a neutral player, which is another player color. Yep. And they have this AI deck which lets them either place a worker in the certain spot to block, or when it's already got a worker, it will activate that space. So it helps with activation of certain space. So you would think otherwise 2 players does that mean that it's going to activate less? Not really, because of these extra players. And although it's random, it works.
And you also got a little element of control, because the AI doesn't take a turn every time it comes around to the AI.
Correct.
It's only when someone places on one of these middle 2 spaces on each of the paddles. So the players could collectively kind of box the AI out and get more turns, or could try to speed it up.
Yeah. So it's just like a different feel to the game itself.
Yeah.
And there's also this extra asymmetric power that you can draft at the start of the game.
Yes, there are stage cards. So starting stages are just empty, or you can get what is actually quite a strong power. These asymmetrical ones. They may, this one gives you an extra meeple every time you get meeples off a card. This one you treat all track advancements as well. Gives you a lot of flexibility.
I like that one because it kind of like you don't have to plan ahead too much. Yeah. It gives you less complexity because you can just like advance whatever tracks you want. Yep. Anyways.
This one makes all your camps more powerful. So they do give you something really to aim towards. You flip over your player boards as well. They're slightly asymmetrical. Your player board gets a little bit weaker to make up for the strong power that comes in.
Yeah, even like between each player, they have a slightly asymmetrical track bonus and things.
Yep. The game also plays up to 6. That's a good selling point. You don't get that many Euros that play up to 6. I've not played it at 6. I have played it at 5, and it still plays really well at 5. You've got more advancements before the round ends. A little less likely that you're going to have that decision point of, can I leave something because I don't think anyone else is going to take it? That kind of comes out a little bit, but that's true for any game that's at a higher player count. The actual core mechanism of getting your meeples to the most valuable places and getting them activated still really holds.
Overall, really great game. Highly recommend it. Check it out. Hopefully you can play it wherever you are. And don't forget, the theme is cute.
Yes.
It's a indie music festival, which I haven't been to many of them. Maybe just one. I'm not a big kind of like over the days music festival and get drinks. I'm not really big in drinks and that sort of thing. So I feel like, just like, it's not really, it's a little bit uncomfortable in the tent.
I've never done a camping music festival. I've been to a couple of one-day festivals back in my youth.
Day is different, like that, the ones that you don't have to stay over. Yeah. Have you been to any of those? Does this resonate to you more maybe than us? Let us know. And that is it. If you find this useful, you can please help us by hitting the like button and subscribe to us if you haven't done so already. Hit the bell so you get notification when we have new videos, like review videos like this, how to play video, and my short and sweet, and so on. I'm also on Instagram. Find me there as well, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Bye.